I won a $15 million jackpot just days before my 68th birthday. My heart raced as I pictured the moment I'd share the news with my children, Emma and Liam, over a grand birthday dinner. I had planned everything. 2 checks for $1 million each, a new car for Emma, a down payment for Liam's dream house. This was my chance to give them the life I'd always wanted for them, the life I'd worked so hard for. But when my birthday arrived, the dining table sat empty. The food I'd spent hours cooking grew cold, and the silence in my house screamed louder than any celebration ever could. By midnight, neither Emma nor Liam had shown up, and a heavy knot twisted in my stomach. Something wasn't right. I sat at the table, staring at the untouched plates, the candles burned down to stubs. I'd called Emma at noon, and she'd promised she'd be there by 6, saying work was hectic, but she wouldn't miss it. Liam texted around 3, claiming a last-minute meeting with a client, but he'd make it by 8. I believed them. I always did. They were my kids, the ones I'd raised alone after their father, Daniel, left us for another woman when they were just toddlers. I'd poured every penny, every moment, into making sure they had everything: school fees, clothes, even college funds. I sold my old jewelry to pay for Emma's art classes, worked double shifts at the library for Liam's soccer camp. And now, with this lottery win, I could finally give them more than just enough. The clock ticked past 10 p.m., and I called again. Emma's phone went to voicemail. Liam's rang and rang. My fingers hovered over the family group chat, but I didn't want to seem desperate. Instead, I sent a simple message. Still waiting. Hope you're okay. No reply. The checks and car keys sat on the table, mocking me. I'd kept the lottery a secret, wanting to surprise them in person. My friends at the knitting club had pushed me to buy the ticket, laughing about how I never treated myself. When I saw the numbers match, I couldn't sleep for days, imagining their faces when I handed them their futures. By 11 p.m., I moved to the couch, the weight of the evening pressing on my chest. I tried to tell myself they were just busy. Emma was climbing the ranks at her marketing firm, always stressed about deadlines. Liam was building his construction business, always chasing the next big contract. But the excuses felt hollow. I scrolled through my phone, hoping for a text, a call, anything. Nothing. Then at 11:45 my phone buzzed. It was Emma. I answered, my voice shaky with relief. "Emma, where are you?" I asked. Her voice was rushed, clipped. "Mom, I'm so sorry. Work went crazy, and I'm still at the office. I'll make it up to you, promise. Go to bed, okay?" Before I could respond, the call ended. I stared at the phone, her words echoing. She sounded off, like she was hiding something. Liam still hadn't called. I texted him again, my fingers trembling. "Everything okay?" No response. I wrapped the food, put it in the fridge, and tucked the checks and keys into a drawer. My birthday, the one I'd dreamed would be perfect, was over. I went to bed, but sleep wouldn't come. A nagging feeling grew, like a storm brewing in the distance. Something was wrong, and I couldn't shake it. The next morning, my phone was still silent. No birthday messages from Emma or Liam. I sent another message to the group chat. "Dinner tonight? I have a surprise for you." No reply. I tried to keep busy, cleaning the house, watering the plants, but the quiet was deafening. Around noon, I went for a walk, needing air. My neighbor, Sarah, was outside, tending her roses. She smiled, her eyes kind. "Madison, you're late for your walk today. Big birthday bash keep you up." I forced a smile. Too ashamed to admit I'd spent the night alone. "Just tired," I said. Sarah frowned, like she could see through me. "You cooked all day for those kids, didn't you? I told you, book a restaurant next time. Less work." Her words stung, reminding me of the effort I'd put in. The effort that went nowhere. As we talked, another neighbor, Karen, walked by. She'd always been sharp-tongued, someone I avoided since we'd clashed years ago at the community center over a fundraiser. She smirked, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Madison, still playing the perfect mom? Bet Emma and Liam threw you a big party, huh?" I ignored her, but she stepped closer, her eyes glinting. "I was at a fancy dinner last night, and guess who I saw? Your kids. Not with you, though." My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Karen pulled out her phone, scrolling with a smug grin. "Take a look," she said, shoving the screen in my face. The video started, and my world tilted. It showed a woman in a sparkling blue dress, laughing with guests at a lavish party. I knew her instantly. Claire, Daniel's new wife, the woman he'd left me for 30 years ago. Standing beside her were Emma and Liam, smiling, toasting. A banner behind them read, "Happy 25th anniversary, Daniel and Claire." Another said, "Happy birthday, Claire." My granddaughter, Lily, ran into the frame, hugging Claire. "Grandma Claire, you're the best," she squealed. The words cut like a knife. I handed the phone back, my hands shaking. Karen's voice was cold. "They got her gold jewelry, expensive stuff. Funny they didn't even bring you a card, did they?" I turned away, my legs weak, and stumbled back to my house. Tears burned my eyes as I collapsed on the couch. The checks, the car keys, the $1 million I'd saved for them. It all felt like a cruel joke. I'd given my life to Emma and Liam. And they chose Claire, the woman who'd torn our family apart. The pain was raw, but beneath it, something else stirred. Anger, maybe, or the start of something new. I didn't know it then, but that moment was the beginning of a decision that would change everything. I sat on the couch, the video Karen showed me playing over and over in my head. My chest felt tight, like someone had tied a rope around it and pulled hard. Emma and Liam, my own kids, laughing at Claire's party while I sat alone, waiting for them. I wiped my eyes, but the tears kept coming, hot and heavy. The house was too quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you feel like you're drowning. I wanted answers, so I grabbed my phone and called Emma. It rang 4 times before she picked up. "Mom, what's up?" she said, her voice casual, like nothing was wrong. "Where were you last night?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. There was a pause too long. "I told you work was crazy," she said. "I got stuck at the office." "Don't lie to me, Emma," I said, my voice breaking. "I saw the video. You and Liam at Claire's party. Her birthday, her anniversary with your dad. You didn't even call me." Silence. Then she sighed, annoyed. "Mom, it's not a big deal. It was a last-minute thing. Dad asked us to come, and we couldn't say no." My heart sank deeper. Not a big deal. It was my birthday, Emma. I cooked all day, waited all night. You promised you'd be here. She groaned, like I was being unreasonable. I said I'd make it up to you. Why are you making this such a drama? I gripped the phone, my knuckles white. You called her Grandma Claire. Lily did. In front of everyone. Do you know how that felt? Emma's voice softened, but only a little. Lily's a kid, Mom. She doesn't mean anything by it. Claire's just around more. She's fun, you know. Fun. The word hit like a slap. I'd spent years being everything for them. Mom, dad, provider, cheerleader. And now Claire, who'd never changed a diaper or stayed up through their fevers, was fun. I swallowed hard. What about Liam? Where was he? Emma hesitated. He was there too. Look, Mom, we didn't mean to hurt you. It just happened. I ended the call, my hands shaking. I couldn't listen anymore. I tried Liam next. His phone went to voicemail like always. Liam, it's Mom, I said, my voice cracking. I know where you were last night. Call me back. Please. He didn't. I sat there, staring at the walls, memories flooding in. I thought of the nights I'd stayed up sewing Emma's costumes for school plays. The mornings I drove Liam to practice before the sun was up. I'd given up so much. My dreams of writing, my savings, my time. And for what? To be replaced by Claire, the woman who'd walked into my marriage and taken everything. The phone buzzed. A text from Sarah, my neighbor. Madison, you okay? Saw you talking to Karen. She's trouble, don't let her get to you. I typed back, I'm fine, but I wasn't. I stood up, pacing the living room, trying to make sense of it all. Why would they choose Claire? She'd come into our lives when Emma and Liam were 2, when Daniel decided he wanted a new start. I fought for years to keep us together, working at the library, picking up extra hours, never complaining. I thought they'd seen that, appreciated it. But now it felt like they'd erased me. I went to the drawer where I'd put the checks and car keys. I pulled them out, staring at the numbers. 1 million for Emma, 1 million for Liam. My hands shook as I thought about tearing them up. But I didn't. Not yet. I needed to know why. I drove to Emma's apartment, my heart pounding. She lived close to her office, a place I'd helped pay for when she got her first big job. I knocked, and she opened the door, looking tired, her hair messy. "Mom, what are you doing here?" she asked, stepping back. "We need to talk," I said, walking in. "Now." She crossed her arms, leaning against the counter. "Okay, fine. What do you want to say?" I took a deep breath, the words spilling out. "I saw you with Claire. You and Liam, celebrating her like she's your mom. I waited for you all night, Emma. I had a surprise, something big. And you didn't even show up." Her face softened, but only for a second. "Mom, it wasn't about you. Dad wanted us there. It was their 25th anniversary. We couldn't just skip it." I stared at her. "You could have told me. You could have called. Instead, you lied. Both of you." Emma looked away, picking at her nails. "It's complicated, okay? Claire's been good to us. She's always there, throwing parties, helping Liam with his business. She's easy to be around." I felt like I'd been punched. "And I'm not? I raised you alone, Emma. I gave up everything for you and Liam. Do you even remember that?" She snapped back, her voice sharp. "Yeah, Mom, we know. You never let us forget how much you sacrificed. It's exhausting sometimes." The room went quiet. Her words hung between us, heavy and cruel. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. It was Liam finally. "Mom, I got your message," he said when I answered. "Can we talk later? I'm in the middle of something." I didn't hold back. "No, Liam. We talk now. I know you were at Claire's party. You ditched my birthday for her." "Why?" He sighed, like I was bothering him. "Mom, it wasn't like that. Dad needed me there. It was a big deal for them. I didn't think you'd care this much." I laughed, but it was bitter. "Didn't think I'd care? Liam, I sat alone all night. I had something huge to tell you. And you chose her." Liam's voice got defensive. "Claire's been there for us, Mom. She helped me get a loan for my business. She's not trying to replace you." I gripped the phone tighter. "Then why does Lily call her grandma? Why are you giving her gold bracelets while I get nothing?" He went quiet, then muttered, "I didn't know it'd hurt you like this. I'll come by tomorrow, okay?" He hung up before I could say more. I looked at Emma, who was staring at the floor. "Is that what you think too?" I asked. "That Claire's better than me?" She didn't answer, and that silence said everything. I left her apartment, my heart heavy but my mind racing. The drive home was a blur, the sting of their words mixing with old memories. Daniel's affair with Claire had broken me, but I'd rebuilt our lives piece by piece. I thought my kids saw that. But now, I wasn't sure who they were anymore. As I pulled into my driveway, Sarah was there, holding a small cake. "I figured you could use this," she said softly. I tried to smile, but tears came instead. "They chose her, Sarah," I whispered. She hugged me, her arms warm. "You're enough, Madison. You always have been." That night, alone in my house, I made a decision. The checks, the cars, they could wait. I needed to find out who I was without them. I sat in my kitchen, Sarah's cake untouched on the counter. The checks for Emma and Liam were still in the drawer, but they felt like weights, heavy with betrayal. My heart ached, but a spark of anger flickered inside me. I'd given my kids everything, and they'd chosen Claire over me. I needed answers, not just from them but from the past that kept haunting me. I decided to dig deeper, to understand why my family had slipped away. That morning, I pulled out an old box from the attic, one I hadn't touched in years. It was full of letters, photos, and memories from when Daniel and I were married. I hadn't looked at them since he left, too afraid of the pain. As I sifted through the box, my fingers brushed against a stack of envelopes tied with a faded ribbon. They were letters from Daniel, written during the early years of our marriage. My hands shook as I opened one. His handwriting was neat, familiar, but the words weren't what I expected. "Claire, you're my escape," one read. "Madison's so caught up with the kids she doesn't see me anymore." My stomach twisted. Another letter, dated a year later, said, "I can't leave her yet, but you're my future." I dropped the letter, my breath catching. Daniel hadn't just cheated. He'd been planning a life with Claire while I was pregnant with Emma and Liam. The betrayal wasn't new, but seeing it in his words felt like a fresh wound. I kept reading, each letter worse than the last. Claire had written back, her letters tucked in with his. "I'll wait for you, Daniel," she wrote. "The kids will love me too, you'll see." My vision blurred with tears. She'd known about Emma and Liam from the start, plotting to take my place even then. I felt like a fool, thinking their affair started after he left. It had been years in the making and I'd been blind. I slammed the box shut, my chest heaving. But then I heard a knock at the door. It was Liam, standing there with a guilty look, his hands stuffed in his pockets. "Mom, can I come in?" he asked, his voice low. I nodded, too tired to argue. He sat on the couch, avoiding my eyes. "I'm sorry about your birthday," he said. "I didn't mean to hurt you." I crossed my arms, the letter's words burning in my mind. "Then why did you go to Claire's party, Liam? Why lie to me?" He rubbed his neck, nervous. "Dad said it was important. Claire's been helping me with my business, Mom. She got me a big client last month. I owed her." I stared at him, my voice sharp. "You owed her? What about me? I paid for your school, your camps, your first truck. What do I get?" Liam's face hardened. "Mom, you always bring that up. I know what you did for us. But Claire, she doesn't make me feel like I owe her something every time we talk." His words cut deep, like a knife twisting in my chest. "So I'm the bad guy for loving you?" I asked, tears spilling over. He looked away, muttering, "That's not what I meant." Before I could respond, my phone rang. It was Emma. I put it on speaker, too angry to care. "Mom, Liam's there, right?" she said, her voice shaky. "We need to talk. Both of us." I glanced at Liam, who looked surprised. "Go ahead," I said, my voice cold. Emma took a deep breath. "Mom, I'm sorry about the party. But there's something you need to know. Claire's been telling us things about you." My heart stopped. "What things?" I asked. Emma hesitated. "She said you pushed Dad away, that you were too focused on work and us to care about him. She said you changed after we were born." I laughed, but it was bitter. "Changed? Emma, I was raising you alone while he was writing love letters to her. I found them today. He was cheating before you were even born." Liam's eyes widened. "What letters?" he asked. I grabbed one from the box and handed it to him. He read it, his face paling. "Mom, I didn't know," he said softly. Emma's voice came through the phone, trembling. "Claire never told us that. She said you drove him away." I shook my head, anger boiling over. "She lied to you. Both of you. And you believed her." Liam stood up, pacing. "This is messed up, Mom. I thought Claire was just trying to help us." I looked at him, my voice steady despite the pain. "She's not your mom, Liam. I am. But you both made your choice." Emma started crying on the phone. "Mom, I didn't mean to hurt you. Claire's been so nice, throwing parties, helping me with work. I got caught up." I closed my eyes, the weight of their words crushing me. "Caught up? Emma, I sat alone on my birthday, waiting for you. I had $1 million for each of you. A car for you, a house for Liam. And you chose her." There was silence, then Emma's voice, barely a whisper. $1 million? Liam froze, staring at me. "Mom, what are you talking about?" I walked to the drawer, pulled out the checks, and held them up. This was my surprise. "But now, I'm not sure you deserve it." Liam's face crumpled, like he was a kid again. "Mom, we messed up. I didn't know about the money, but that's not the point. I'm sorry. I wanted to believe him, but the hurt was too raw." "You're sorry now," I said. "Because you know about the money? Or because you got caught?" He didn't answer, and that silence spoke louder than words. Emma was still on the phone, sobbing. "Mom, please. Let's fix this." I shook my head, even though she couldn't see. "I need time, Emma. You both broke my heart." I hung up, my hands shaking. Liam stayed for a moment, then mumbled, "I'll call you later," and left. I sank onto the couch, the letters scattered around me. The checks were still in my hand, and for a second, I thought about tearing them up. But something stopped me. I wasn't ready to give up on them completely, not yet. That night, Sarah came over, bringing tea. "You look like you've been through it," she said, sitting beside me. I told her about the letters, the fight with Liam, Emma's call. She listened, her eyes kind. Madison, you've been carrying this family for years. Maybe it's time to carry yourself. Her words stuck with me, planting a seed. I didn't know what I'd do next, but I knew I couldn't keep living for people who didn't see me. I sat alone in my living room, the check still in my hand, Sarah's words echoing in my mind. Carry myself. It sounded simple, but after years of putting Emma and Liam first, I didn't know where to start. The letters from Daniel and Claire were scattered on the coffee table, each one a reminder of the life I'd lost. I was about to put them away when my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. Madison, we need to talk. It's about Daniel. Meet me at the park at 3 p.m. Rachel. My heart skipped. Rachel? I hadn't heard that name in years. She was Daniel's sister, someone I'd barely spoken to since the divorce. Why now? I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. I drove to the park, my stomach in knots. Rachel was waiting on a bench, her hair gray now, her face lined with worry. Madison, thanks for coming, she said, her voice shaky. I sat down, keeping my distance. What's this about? I asked. She looked around, like she was afraid someone might hear. It's Daniel. He's in trouble. Big trouble. My first thought was, why should I care? But her next words stopped me cold. Claire's been lying to everyone, Madison. Not just you. She's been stealing from Daniel for years, draining his accounts. And now she's after your kids' trust funds. I blinked, trying to process it. Trust funds? What are you talking about? Rachel leaned closer, her voice low. When you and Daniel split, he set up trust funds for Emma and Liam. Small ones, from his old business. Claire's been managing them, but she's been siphoning money off. I found out last week when Daniel had a breakdown. He's broke, Madison. She's cleaned him out. My head spun. The kids never mentioned trust funds. Had Claire been manipulating them with money all along? Why are you telling me this? I asked, my voice sharp. Rachel sighed. Because I know what you did for those kids. And I know they were at Claire's party, not yours. Daniel told me. I'm sorry. I stood up, pacing the grass. Sorry doesn't fix this, Rachel. They chose her. They lied to me. She nodded, her eyes sad. I know. But there's more. Claire's been telling them you kept money from them, that you hid their trust funds out of spite. That's why they're so close to her. She's been buying their love. My knees felt weak. I sank back onto the bench. Buying their love? With money she stole. Rachel nodded. She's good at playing the hero. But Daniel's starting to see through her. He's sick, Madison. Heart problems. He might not have long. I didn't know what to feel, anger, pity, or something else. Daniel had hurt me, but the idea of Claire using my kids like pawns made my blood boil. What do you want me to do? I asked. Rachel reached for my hand, but I pulled back. Talk to them, she said. Tell them the truth before Claire takes everything. I drove home, my mind racing. The checks for Emma and Liam were still in my drawer, but now I wondered if they'd even believe me about Claire. They'd bought her lies so easily. When I got home, Emma was at my door, her face red from crying. Mom, I need to talk, she said, pushing past me. I followed her inside, bracing myself. What's wrong? I asked. She paced, her hands shaking. Liam's in trouble. He called me after he left here. His business is falling apart. That big client Claire got him? They backed out. He's in debt, Mom. Bad debt. My heart sank, but Rachel's words echoed. Was this Claire's doing too? Why didn't he tell me? I asked. Emma wiped her eyes. He's embarrassed. And he thinks you'll just lecture him about how you always helped us. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. Emma, sit down. There's something you need to know. I told her about Rachel, the trust funds, Claire's lies. Her eyes widened, then narrowed. No way, Mom. Claire wouldn't do that. She's been helping us. I grabbed one of Daniel's letters and shoved it in her hands. Read this. She was planning to take your dad from me before you were born. Now she's after your money. Emma read the letter, her hands trembling. This doesn't prove anything, she said, but her voice wavered. Ask your dad, I said. He's broke because of her. Rachel told me. Emma shook her head, backing toward the door. I need to talk to Liam. This is too much. Before I could stop her, she was gone. I sat down, my head pounding. I wanted to scream, to cry, but instead I called Liam. Mom, I can't talk now, he said, his voice strained. Emma just called me, freaking out about some trust fund thing. I didn't hold back. It's true, Liam. Claire's been stealing from you and Emma. Your dad's sister told me. Go ask him. There was a long pause. I'll call you back, he said and hung up. That night, I couldn't sleep. The twists kept coming. Claire's lies, Daniel's money, my kids' blindness. I felt like I was losing them all over again. Then around midnight, my phone rang. It was Daniel. His voice was weak, nothing like the man I'd known. Madison, Rachel told me she talked to you, he said. I'm sorry. For everything. I gripped the phone, anger flaring. Sorry doesn't fix this, Daniel. You let Claire turn my kids against me. He coughed, then said, I know. I messed up. But there's something else. Claire's planning to leave me. She's got a new guy, some rich investor. She's taking what's left of the money and running. I froze. Another twist, another betrayal. What about Emma and Liam? I asked. Daniel's voice broke. She's been telling them you're the problem, that you kept them from me. I went along with it because I was weak. But I'm telling you now, Madison. Stop her before she ruins them too. The call ended, and I sat there stunned. Claire wasn't just a thief. She was planning to abandon my kids after using them. I looked at the checks on the table, my $1 million gifts. I'd planned to give them everything, but now I wasn't sure they'd even believe me over her. Sarah's words came back again. Carry yourself. Maybe it was time to start. Daniel's words echoed in my head as I sat in the dark, the phone still in my hand. Claire was planning to leave him, to take the money and run with some new guy. My kids were caught in her web, and I didn't know if they'd believe me enough to break free. The checks for Emma and Liam sat on the table, glowing under the dim lamp. I'd dreamed of giving them $1 million each, but now it felt like throwing money into a fire. I needed to act, to protect them, but first I needed proof. I couldn't let Claire win again. The next morning, I drove to the library where I'd worked for years. My old friend Nancy still ran the place, and she was good with computers, better than me. I found her shelving books, her glasses perched on her nose. Madison, you look like you've seen a ghost, she said, setting down a stack of novels. I told her everything, my birthday, the video, the letters, Rachel's warning, Daniel's call. Her eyes widened when I mentioned Claire's plan. That woman's trouble, Nancy said. What do you need? I took a deep breath. Can you help me find proof? Bank records, emails, anything to show Claire's stealing. Nancy nodded, leading me to her office. We spent hours digging through public records and old contacts. She knew a guy who worked at the bank where Daniel kept his accounts. It's a long shot, she said, but she made a call. An hour later, her friend sent over some documents. Nothing official, just enough to see Claire's name on withdrawals from accounts tied to Daniel. Big sums moved to an offshore account. My heart raced. This is it, I said, pointing at the screen. She's been draining him dry. Nancy frowned. Madison, this is serious. You need to tell the kids, but be careful. Claire's smart. She'll cover her tracks. I left the library with copies of the documents, my mind spinning with a new twist. If Claire was stealing, maybe she'd been playing a bigger game than I thought. I called Emma, my voice firm. Meet me at the house. Bring Liam. Now. She hesitated. Mom, I'm at work. I cut her off. No excuses. This is about your future. An hour later, they both showed up looking uneasy. Liam slouched on the couch. Emma stood by the door, arms crossed. What's this about, Mom? Liam asked, his tone sharp. I held up the bank records. Claire's been stealing from your dad. From your trust funds. I have proof. Emma's face went pale. That's not true. Claire wouldn't do that. Liam grabbed the papers, scanning them. His jaw tightened. This is real, he asked. I nodded. Your Aunt Rachel told me. Your dad confirmed it. Claire's been lying to you both, making you think I was the bad guy. Emma shook her head, tears in her eyes. No, Mom. She helped me get promoted. She's been there for us. I slammed my hand on the table, making them jump. She's been buying you with stolen money. Wake up, Emma. Before they could argue, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find Karen, my nosy neighbor, holding an envelope. Found this in my mailbox by mistake, she said, smirking. It's for you. Looks important. I took it, my hands trembling. Inside was a letter from a lawyer, addressed to me. My heart stopped as I read it. Claire had filed a lawsuit against me, claiming I'd slandered her to Emma and Liam, damaging her reputation. She was demanding $500,000. I dropped the letter, my legs weak. What is it? Liam asked, grabbing it. He read it aloud, his voice shaking. She's suing you? For what? For telling the truth, I said, my voice barely a whisper. Emma snatched the letter, her eyes wide. This is crazy, Mom. Why would she do this? I looked at them, anger and hurt mixing together. Because she's scared. She knows I'm onto her. She's trying to shut me up. Liam ran his hands through his hair. This is too much. I need to talk to Dad. He stormed out, leaving the letter behind. Emma stayed, tears streaming down her face. Mom, I didn't know, she said. I thought Claire was good for us. I wanted to hug her, but the pain held me back. You chose her, Emma. Over me. On my birthday. She sobbed, reaching for my hand. I'm sorry. I was stupid. Let me fix this. I pulled away. I don't know if you can. Not yet. She left, promising to talk to Liam. I sat down, the lawsuit letter staring at me. Claire wasn't just stealing, she was fighting dirty. But then my phone buzzed. It was a voicemail from Daniel. His voice was weak, almost gone. Madison, I'm in the hospital. Heart attack. Claire's gone. She took everything. Tell the kids. I'm sorry. I froze, the room spinning. Daniel was dying? Claire had already run? I called Liam, but he didn't answer. I tried Emma, same thing. Panic set in. What if Claire had gotten to them first, fed them more lies? I grabbed my keys and drove to Daniel's house, my heart pounding. When I got there, the place was dark, the front door unlocked. I stepped inside, calling out. Daniel? Anyone here? No answer. But in the living room, I found a laptop open, emails on the screen. They were from Claire to a man named Mark, talking about moving to an island, starting over with their money. My stomach churned. She'd been planning this for months. I took pictures of the emails, my hands shaking. This was the proof I needed, but it wasn't enough. I had to find Claire before she disappeared for good. I called Nancy again. I need your help, I said. Claire's running. We have to stop her. Nancy didn't hesitate. I know someone who can trace her. Give me an hour. As I waited, Sarah stopped by, sensing something was wrong. Madison, you're in deep, she said, seeing the lawsuit letter. Let me help. I shook my head. This is my fight. But her words from before kept echoing. Carry yourself. I was starting to see what she meant. Claire had taken enough from me. It was time to take something back. I stood in Daniel's empty house, the laptop screen glowing with Claire's emails to Mark. My hands shook as I sent the photos to Nancy, my heart pounding with every word I'd read. Claire wasn't just leaving. She was planning to vanish with everything, leaving my kids with nothing but her lies. I drove home, the lawsuit letter and bank records in my bag, my mind racing. I had to stop her, but I also had to face Emma and Liam. They needed to know the truth, even if they hated me for it. As I pulled into my driveway, my phone rang. It was Nancy. Madison, my friend, tracked Claire's phone. She's at a hotel downtown, checking out tonight. You've got a few hours. My stomach twisted. Tonight? Claire was moving fast. Thanks, Nancy, I said, my voice shaky. I owe you. She laughed softly. Just get her, Madison. For you, not just the kids. I hung up, her words sinking in. This wasn't just about saving Emma and Liam. It was about proving I wasn't the woman Claire made me out to be. I called Emma, but it went to voicemail. Same with Liam. My heart sank. Were they with Claire? Had she already spun a new story to keep them on her side? I grabbed my keys, ready to head to the hotel, when the doorbell rang. It was Sarah, holding a stack of papers. Found these in my garage, she said, her face serious. They're from when you and Daniel were splitting up. I kept them for you, just in case. I took the papers, confused. They were old bank statements, showing deposits into an account I didn't recognize. My name was on it, but I'd never seen it before. What is this? I asked. Sarah pointed to a line. Look at the dates. These started when Daniel left. He was hiding money from you, Madison. Probably for Claire. My head spun. Another twist. Daniel hadn't just cheated. He'd been stashing money away while I struggled to pay bills. I sat down, the papers trembling in my hands. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I asked. Sarah sighed. You were so broken back then. I didn't want to make it worse. But now with Claire's lawsuit, you need to know. I nodded, anger building. Daniel had lied, Claire had stolen, and my kids were caught in the middle. I tucked the papers into my bag, my resolve hardening. I'm going to that hotel, I said. Sarah grabbed my arm. Madison, be careful. Claire's not just sneaky, she's dangerous. I nodded, but I wasn't scared anymore. I was done being the victim. At the hotel, the lobby was bustling, but I spotted Claire right away. She was at the front desk, a suitcase beside her, laughing with a man I assumed was Mark. My heart pounded as I walked up. Claire, I said, my voice loud enough to make her turn. Her smile faded, but she recovered fast. Madison, what are you doing here? She asked, her tone sweet but sharp. Mark stepped back, looking uneasy. I held up my phone, showing the email photos. I know what you're doing. Stealing from Daniel, from my kids. You're not getting away with it. Claire's eyes narrowed, but she laughed. You're delusional, Madison. Those are fake. You're just jealous because Emma and Liam love me more. Her words stung, but I stood my ground. I have bank records, Claire. And Daniel's letters from 30 years ago. You planned this from the start. Mark shifted, glancing at Claire. What's she talking about? He asked. Claire's face tightened, but before she could answer, Emma and Liam walked in, their faces pale. Mom, Emma said, her voice shaky. What's going on? I turned to them, my heart racing. She's been lying to you, I said, holding up the papers Sarah gave me. Your dad hid money from me, and Claire's been stealing it. She's leaving tonight with this guy. Liam grabbed the papers, his eyes scanning them. Is this true? He asked Claire. She rolled her eyes. Don't listen to her. She's trying to tear us apart. But Emma stepped forward, tears in her eyes. I called Dad, Claire. He's in the hospital. He told me everything. You took his money. You lied about Mom. Claire's face went white, but she didn't back down. You're both ungrateful, she snapped. I gave you everything, parties, connections, money. And this is how you repay me. Liam's voice was cold. You used us. You made us think Mom was the problem. Mark grabbed his bag, backing away. I'm out of here, he said, leaving Claire alone. She glared at me, her voice venomous. You think you've won? You're nothing, Madison. They'll never choose you. She grabbed her suitcase and stormed out, leaving us in stunned silence. Emma fell into my arms, sobbing. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Liam stood frozen, the papers in his hand. I believed her, he said, his voice breaking. I thought you were holding us back. I hugged Emma, but my eyes were on Liam. I wanted to give you everything, I said, my voice cracking. $1 million each. But you broke my heart. Liam's face crumpled. We don't deserve it, Mom. Not after what we did. I pulled away from Emma, looking at them both. You're my kids. But I need to know you see me, not just what I can give you. We drove to the hospital to see Daniel. He was pale, hooked to machines, but awake. Madison, he whispered, his voice weak. I messed up. I let her ruin everything. I nodded, tears in my eyes. You did. But I'm here for the kids, not you. Emma and Liam stood by his bed, their faces full of guilt. Dad, why didn't you tell us? Emma asked. Daniel coughed, his eyes sad. I was ashamed. I thought Claire loved me. Loved you. I was wrong. Liam clenched his fists. She used us all. And we let her. As we left the hospital, Emma grabbed my hand. Mom, how do we fix this? She asked. I looked at her, then at Liam. I don't know yet, I said. But I'm done waiting for you to choose me. I drove home, the check still in my bag, but something was shifting inside me. Claire was gone, but the pain she'd caused lingered. I thought of Sarah's words again. Carry yourself. For the first time, I felt a spark of something new. Not just anger, but strength. I wasn't sure what I'd do with the money or my kids, but I knew one thing. I was ready to fight for myself. The drive home from the hospital was quiet, the weight of everything pressing down on me. Emma and Liam sat in the back, their faces heavy with guilt, but I couldn't look at them. My heart was a tangle of love and pain. Their apologies mixing with the memory of my empty birthday table. Claire was gone, her lies exposed, but the hurt she'd caused wasn't so easy to erase. I gripped the steering wheel, tears stinging my eyes. I'd spent my life giving them everything, and they'd chosen her. Even now, with the truth out, I felt like I was begging for their love. I didn't want to beg anymore. When we got to my house, Emma broke the silence. "Mom, can we stay and talk?" she asked, her voice small. Liam nodded, his eyes red. "Please, Mom. We need to make this right." I wanted to believe them, but my heart ached too much. "Come in," I said, my voice flat. We sat in the living room, the check still in my bag, untouched. I looked at them, my kids, the ones I'd raised through sleepless nights and endless sacrifices. Why did it take this to see me? I asked, tears spilling over. I was here, waiting on my birthday. And you were with her. Emma's voice cracked. "Mom, I was wrong. I thought Claire cared about us. She was always there, throwing parties, helping with work. I didn't see what she was doing." Liam leaned forward, his hands clasped tight. "I messed up too, Mom. She got me that client, and I thought she was saving my business. I didn't know she was using me." I shook my head, the pain raw. "You didn't know because you didn't ask. You believed her lies about me. You let Lily call her grandma." Emma sobbed, covering her face. "I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't think it would hurt you like this." Her words broke something in me. I stood up, pacing, my voice shaking. "Hurt me? Emma, I sat alone all night, waiting for you. I cooked your favorite food, bought a car for you, saved $1 million for each of you. And you didn't even call." Liam's eyes widened. "You still have the money?" he asked. I glared at him. "Is that all you care about now? The money?" He flinched, shaking his head. "No, Mom. I don't know how to fix this." I sat down, tears streaming. "I don't know either. I gave you my whole life, and it wasn't enough." The room went quiet, the air thick with pain. Then Emma reached into her bag and pulled out a small box. "I was going to give you this," she said, her voice trembling. "I forgot on your birthday." She handed it to me, and I opened it, my hands shaking. Inside was a necklace, a simple silver chain with a heart pendant. "I saw it in a shop," she said. "It reminded me of you. I know it's not much, but..." I held it, tears falling onto the box. It was the first gift they'd given me in years, and it broke my heart all over again. "It's beautiful," I whispered. "But it doesn't fix what happened." Liam stood up, his voice breaking. "Mom, I don't know how to say this, but I'm scared. My business is failing, and now Dad's dying. I don't know what to do." I looked at him, seeing the boy I'd raised, not the man who'd hurt me. "You don't fix it with words, Liam," I said. "You show me. Both of you." Emma nodded, wiping her eyes. "We will, Mom. I promise." But before we could say more, my phone buzzed. It was Nancy. "Madison, you need to see this," she said. "I found more emails. Claire didn't just take Daniel's money. She's been forging documents, tying your name to her debts." My heart stopped. "What?" I asked, putting her on speaker. Nancy's voice was urgent. "She's claiming you co-sign loans for her. If she disappears, you could be on the hook for millions." Emma gasped, and Liam's face went pale. "She's setting Mom up?" he asked. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Claire wasn't just running, she was trying to ruin me. "Send me the emails," I said, my voice shaking. Nancy promised to send them over, and I hung up, looking at my kids. "She's not done with us," I said. "She's trying to destroy me." Emma grabbed my hand, her eyes fierce. "Mom, we won't let her. We'll fight this." Liam nodded, his jaw tight. "I'll call a lawyer. We'll stop her." For the first time, I saw something in their eyes, not guilt but determination. But I wasn't ready to trust them yet. I need to do this myself, I said, standing up. I've been fighting for you my whole life. Now I need to fight for me. Emma's face crumpled. Mom, don't shut us out. Please. I looked at her, my heart torn. I'm not shutting you out. But I need to know you're with me. Not just because Claire's gone. I walked to the kitchen, needing space. Sarah's words kept echoing. Carry yourself. I looked at the necklace Emma gave me, the heart pendant glinting in the light. It was small, but it meant something. Maybe they were trying. But then my phone buzzed again. It was a text from an unknown number. You can't stop me, Madison. You'll lose everything. My blood ran cold. It was Claire. I showed it to Emma and Liam, their faces pale. She's still out there, Liam said, his voice low. What do we do? I took a deep breath, my hands steady for the first time. We find her, I said. And we end this. I called Nancy back, my voice firm. Can your friend track her again? Nancy hesitated. She's turned off her phone, but I've got a lead. She's meeting someone at a cafe tomorrow. I'll text you the address. I hung up, looking at my kids. They were watching me, waiting. You want to fix this? I asked. Come with me tomorrow. We face her together. Emma nodded, tears in her eyes. We're with you, Mom. Liam reached for my hand. No more lies. We promise. I wanted to believe them, but the pain was still there, sharp and heavy. As they left, I held the necklace, feeling its weight. Claire had taken so much, but I wasn't broken. Not yet. Tomorrow I'd face her, and I'd show her who I really was. I barely slept that night, clutching the necklace Emma gave me, my mind racing with Claire's threat. You'll lose everything, she texted. Her words burned, but they also lit a fire in me. I wasn't the same woman who'd sat alone on my birthday, waiting for my kids. I was done letting Claire control my life. By morning, Nancy's text came through with the cafe address where Claire was meeting someone. I called Emma and Liam, my voice steady. Meet me at the cafe at noon. We're ending this today. Emma's voice was shaky but firm. We'll be there, Mom. Liam added, no more running. We've got your back. I wanted to believe them, but trust was hard after everything. I got to the cafe early, my bag heavy with the bank records, Daniel's letters, and the lawsuit papers. The place was small, with a few tables outside under red umbrellas. I picked a spot in the corner, my heart pounding. Emma and Liam arrived looking nervous. What's the plan? Liam asked, sitting across from me. I took a deep breath. We confront her. Show her the proof. Make her drop the lawsuit and admit what she's done. Emma bit her lip. What if she lies again? I looked at her, my voice firm. Then we go to the police. I'm not letting her ruin us. At 12:15, Claire walked in alone, no sign of the man she was supposed to meet. She wore sunglasses, her hair pulled back, but I knew it was her. She sat at a table outside, scanning her phone. I stood up, Emma and Liam behind me. Claire, I said, my voice loud. She looked up, her face tightening. Madison, what is this? Stalking me now? She asked, her tone sharp. I held up the bank records. No more games. I know you stole from Daniel, from my kids' trust funds. I have proof. She laughed, cold and sharp. You're pathetic. Those are fake and you know it. Emma stepped forward, her voice shaking. They're not fake. Dad told us everything. You lied to us, Claire. Liam held up his phone, showing the emails I'd found at Daniel's house. You were planning to run with that guy, Mark. We saw it all. Claire's smile faltered, but she leaned back, crossing her arms. You're all so naive. You think you can scare me? I've got lawyers, money, connections. You've got nothing. I felt a surge of anger. Nothing? I've got the truth. And I'm not afraid of you anymore. Before Claire could respond, a man walked up, not Mark, but someone new, wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase. Claire, we need to talk, he said, his voice low. She froze, her eyes darting between us. Not now, Richard, she hissed. He ignored her, turning to me. You're Madison? I'm Richard, Daniel's lawyer. Claire's been forging documents, tying you to her debts. I found out yesterday. My heart raced. Another twist. Claire's plan was deeper than I thought. What debts? I asked. Richard opened his briefcase, pulling out papers. Loans, millions in your name. She's been using your identity. Emma gasped, grabbing my arm. Mom, she was going to frame you? Liam's face darkened. You're sick, Claire. You used us, now this. Claire stood up, her voice rising. You can't prove anything. Richard, you're fired. He shook his head. I'm not working for you anymore. Daniel hired me to protect his kids. I'm here to fix this. Claire's face twisted with rage. She grabbed her bag, but I stepped in front of her. You're not running, I said, my voice steady. You're done hurting my family. Claire shoved past me, but Liam blocked her path. Sit down, he said, his voice cold. She glared at him, then at Emma, who was crying. You're choosing her over me? After everything I did for you. Emma's voice broke. You lied to us, Claire. You made us think Mom was the enemy. We're done with you. Claire's eyes flashed, and for a second, I thought she'd fight. But then she laughed, bitter and hollow. Fine. You'll all regret this. She pushed past Liam and stormed out, leaving her coffee untouched. Richard sat down, spreading out the papers. Madison, we can fight this. The forged loans won't hold up in court, not with the evidence you've got. I nodded, my head spinning. What about the lawsuit? I asked. He smiled faintly. It's a bluff. Claire's got no case. I'll make it go away. Emma hugged me, her tears soaking my shoulder. Mom, I'm so sorry we didn't believe you. Liam put his hand on my arm. We'll fix this, Mom. Together. I wanted to melt into their arms, but the pain was still there, sharp and raw. As we left the cafe, my phone buzzed. It was a voicemail from Nancy. Madison, I found something else. Claire's been in touch with your brother, Tom. He's involved. My heart stopped. Tom. I hadn't spoken to my brother in years, not since he borrowed money from me and never paid it back. Why was he talking to Claire? I played the message for Emma and Liam, their faces pale. Uncle Tom. Emma asked. What's he got to do with this? I shook my head, a new twist tightening my chest. I don't know, but we're going to find out. We drove to Tom's apartment, my stomach in knots. He lived in a rundown building, the kind that smelled like damp and regret. I knocked, and he opened the door, looking older than I remembered, his eyes bloodshot. Madison? What are you doing here? He asked, glancing at Emma and Liam. I didn't waste time. Why are you talking to Claire? I asked. His face went pale. Who told you that? I held up my phone, Nancy's voicemail still open. Don't lie to me, Tom. What's going on? He sighed, stepping back. Come in. You're not gonna like this. Inside, Tom sat us down, his hands shaking. Claire came to me a year ago, he said. She said you won the lottery, that you were hiding money from the family. She offered me a cut if I helped her get to Emma and Liam. My blood ran cold. You sold out my kids. I asked, my voice breaking. Tom looked away, ashamed. I was broke, Madison. She said it was just business. I didn't know she'd hurt you like this. Liam stood up, his fists clenched. You're disgusting, Tom. You knew what she was doing. Emma's voice was quiet, hurt. Why, Uncle Tom? We trusted you. I stood up, my heart heavy but my mind clear. You're out of our lives, Tom, I said. And Claire's not getting away with this. As we left, I felt a shift inside me. The checks for Emma and Liam were still in my bag, but I wasn't sure they were ready for them. I was fighting for my family, but I was also fighting for me. Sarah's words rang in my head. Carry yourself. I was starting to understand what that meant. And I wasn't turning back. We left Tom's apartment in silence, the sting of his betrayal heavy in the air. My brother, someone I'd once trusted, had sold me out to Claire for a quick buck. Emma gripped my hand, her eyes wet. Mom, I can't believe he did that, she whispered. Liam's jaw was tight, his voice low. He's no family to us. I nodded, my heart aching but my resolve stronger than ever. Claire had turned everyone against me. My kids, my brother, even Daniel. But I wasn't the broken woman she thought I was. I was ready to fight back, for myself and for the truth. Back at my house, I spread out the evidence on the kitchen table. the bank records, Daniel's letters, the forged loan documents, and now Tom's confession. Emma and Liam sat with me, their faces serious. "What's next, Mom?" Emma asked, her voice steady despite the tears. I took a deep breath. "We take this to the police. Claire's not just a liar, she's a criminal. And we make sure she can't hurt anyone else." Liam nodded, pulling out his phone. "I'll call Richard, Dad's lawyer. He'll know what to do." I felt a flicker of pride. They were finally standing with me, but the pain of their betrayal still lingered. Before Liam could dial, my phone rang. It was Sarah, her voice urgent. "Madison, turn on the news. Now." I grabbed the remote, my heart pounding, and flipped to the local channel. A reporter stood outside a bank, her voice sharp. "Authorities are investigating a major fraud case involving a local woman, Claire Thompson, accused of embezzling millions from multiple accounts, including those tied to a prominent businessman." My mouth went dry. Claire's photo flashed on the screen. The same smug smile I'd seen at the cafe. Emma gasped. "Mom, they're onto her." Liam's eyes widened. "How did this happen so fast?" I called Nancy, my hands shaking. "Did you see the news?" I asked. She laughed, a rare sound. "My friend at the bank tipped off the cops after we found those records. Claire's in deep now." I hung up, relief mixing with fear. Claire was cornered, but that made her dangerous. I turned to Emma and Liam. "We need to be ready. She might try something." Liam's phone buzzed before I could say more. It was Richard. "Liam, the police want to talk to you and Emma," he said. "They're building a case against Claire, but they need your statements about the trust funds." We drove to the police station, my stomach in knots. The officer, a kind man named Officer Daniels, took us to a small room. "We've got Claire in custody," he said, his voice calm. "She was caught trying to board a flight with a fake passport." My heart skipped. Another twist. She'd been so close to escaping. Emma's voice trembled. "She's really in jail?" Officer Daniels nodded. "For now. But we need your help to make the charges stick. Tell us everything." Liam spoke first, his voice steady. "She lied to us about our mom, said she kept money from us. She used our trust funds to control us." Emma added, tears in her eyes. "She made us think she was family. We didn't know she was stealing." I told them about the lawsuit, the forged loans, Tom's betrayal. Officer Daniels took notes, his face serious. "This is enough to keep her locked up for a long time," he said. "But Madison, you should know, Claire's claiming you were in on it. Says you helped her hide the money." My blood ran cold. "That's a lie," I said, my voice shaking. Emma grabbed my hand. "Mom would never do that. Claire's just trying to save herself." Liam's voice was fierce. "We'll testify against her. Whatever it takes." The officer nodded. "We'll sort it out. Go home, stay safe." As we left the station, I felt a strange mix of relief and dread. Claire was caught, but her lies were still spreading. At home, Sarah was waiting, a pot of tea ready. "You're all over the news," she said, hugging me. "You did it, Madison." I shook my head, tears falling. "It doesn't feel like a win. My kids were with her, Sarah. They chose her." Emma overheard, her voice breaking. "Mom, we were wrong. We'll spend our lives making it up to you." Liam nodded, his eyes red. "You're our mom. Not her. Never her." I wanted to believe them, but my heart was bruised. I pulled out the checks from my bag, holding them up. "I was going to give you these," I said, my voice cracking. $1 million each. "But I don't know if I can now." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "We don't want the money, Mom. We want you." Liam's voice was soft. "We don't deserve it. Not after what we did." Their words hit me hard, and for the first time, I felt a crack in the wall I'd built around my heart. "I need time," I said, putting the checks away. "But I'm glad you're here." That night, I got a call from the hospital. It was Daniel, his voice barely a whisper. "Madison, I heard about Claire," he said. "I'm sorry. For all of it." I closed my eyes, the years of pain flooding back. "You should have told me, Daniel. You let her tear us apart." He coughed, his voice fading. "I know. I don't have long, Madison. Tell the kids I love them." The call ended, and I sat there, tears streaming. Daniel was dying, and Claire was in jail, but I still felt empty. Then came another twist. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Check your mailbox, Madison. You deserve the truth." My heart raced as I ran outside, Emma and Liam following. In the mailbox was an envelope with no name, just a USB drive inside. We plugged it into my laptop, and a video started. It was Claire sitting in a hotel room, talking to the camera. "If you're watching this, I'm gone," she said, her voice cold. "Madison, you thought you won, but I planned for this. The money's hidden, and you'll never find it. Your kids will always wonder if you kept it from them." The video ended, and Emma gasped. "She's still trying to hurt us," she said. Liam's face was pale. "What do we do, Mom?" I looked at them, my heart heavy but my mind clear. "We don't let her win," I said. "We move forward together." For the first time, I felt a spark of hope. Claire's games weren't over, but I wasn't playing anymore. I was ready to build something new, not just for my kids, but for me. Sarah's words echoed, "Carry yourself." I was starting to see how. Claire's video left a chill in the room, her voice lingering like a shadow. Emma's hands shook as she closed the laptop, and Liam's face was tight with anger. "She's still trying to mess with us," he said, his voice low. I looked at my kids, their eyes searching mine for answers. My heart was heavy, but something inside me had shifted. Claire had spent years tearing me down, turning my family against me, but I wasn't her pawn anymore. I stood up, my voice steady. "She's wrong," I said. "We're not playing her game. Not now, not ever." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "But what if she's right, Mom? What if people believe her lies?" I took her hand, my heart aching but strong. "Let them. We know the truth. That's enough." The next morning, I called Richard, Daniel's lawyer. "Claire's video," I said. "Can she use it to hurt us?" Richard's voice was calm. "It's just a taunt, Madison. She's got no power now. The police have her, and the evidence is airtight. Focus on your family." His words gave me a spark of hope, but I knew the real work was ahead. I sat Emma and Liam down, the check still in my bag untouched. "We need to talk," I said. "About us." Liam nodded, his eyes red. "Mom, we messed up. We know that. We'll do anything to make it right." Emma's voice cracked. "We love you, Mom. We were stupid to believe Claire." Their words warmed me, but the pain of my birthday lingered. I pulled out the necklace Emma had given me, holding it tight. "This meant something," I said. "But I need more than gifts. I need you to see me, not just when things go wrong." Emma sobbed, reaching for me. "We see you, Mom. We promise." Liam's voice was soft. "We don't want the money, Mom. We just want you back." I took a deep breath, tears falling. "I never left," I said. "But I'm done living for you. I need to live for me too." That afternoon, I got a call from the hospital. Daniel had passed away. The news hit me harder than I expected, not for him, but for the life we'd lost. I told Emma and Liam, and we sat together, crying for what could have been. "He wasn't perfect," Liam said, his voice breaking. "But he tried to make it right at the end." Emma nodded, wiping her eyes. "We'll be better, Mom. For you, for us." I hugged them, feeling their warmth, and for the first time, I believed they meant it. But Claire's shadow wasn't gone. Nancy called with a new twist. "Madison, we found the money Claire hid," she said. "It's in an offshore account, tied to the trust funds. The police can recover it." My heart raced. "How much?" I asked. Nancy's voice was quiet. "Enough to clear the forged loans and give Emma and Liam what's theirs." I hung up, stunned. Claire's last trick had failed. She couldn't keep the money from us. I told Emma and Liam, their eyes wide. "It's yours," I said. "But I'm not giving you the $1 million. Not yet." Emma's voice was small. "Why, Mom?" I smiled, my heart steady. "Because you need to earn it, not from me, but from life." I made a decision that day. I took the checks and tore them up, the pieces falling like confetti. Emma gasped, but I held up my hand. "I'm not giving you money to fix your mistakes," I said. "I'm giving you something better, me standing up for myself." Liam's eyes shone with something new, respect. "You're right, Mom. We'll make our own way." Emma hugged me, her voice fierce. We're proud of you, Mom. Their words healed a piece of my heart, but I knew my journey wasn't just about them anymore. I used part of my lottery winnings to open a small bookstore, a dream I'd buried years ago. I called it Madison's Haven, a place for stories, coffee, and second chances. Sarah helped me set it up, her laughter filling the empty spaces. You're doing it, Madison, she said, hanging a sign. Carrying yourself. The day it opened, Emma and Liam were there, bringing flowers and my granddaughter, Lily. Grandma, this is so cool, Lily said, hugging me. I smiled, my heart full. She called me Grandma, not Claire, and it felt like a victory. The bookstore became my sanctuary. I hosted book clubs, read to kids, and found joy in small moments. Emma started volunteering there, helping with events, her smile brighter every day. Liam rebuilt his business, slowly with no shortcuts. They were learning, growing, and I was too. One evening, as we closed up, Emma handed me a letter. We wrote this together, she said, Liam nodding beside her. I opened it, my hands trembling. Dear Mom, it read. You're our hero. We're sorry for hurting you, but we're here now forever. Love, Emma and Liam. Tears fell as I hugged them, the weight of the past lifting. Claire was in prison, her lies exposed, but she didn't matter anymore. I'd found something better, myself. The moral of my story was clear. Love your family, but love yourself too. I'd spent years giving everything to others, but in the end, I learned to carry myself. My bookstore thrived, my kids grew closer, and I woke up each day knowing I was enough. As I locked up that night, Lily's laughter echoing behind me, I smiled. I'd lost a lot, but I'd gained something Claire could never take, my own heart.